right, gang, we are about 5 minutes away from live show time. About 5 minutes away from live show time. That's me calling. We are 4 minutes and 10 seconds away from going live.
I'm working out most every day and watching what I eat. They tell me that it's good for me, but I don't even care. I know that it's crazy, I know that it's nowhere, but there is no denying it. It's hip to be square. It's hip to be square. It's hip to be square. So hip to be square. It's not too hard to figure out. You see it every day. And those that were the farthest out have gone the other way. You see them on the freeway. It don't look like a lot of fun. But don't you try to find it, and I do lose time to run. Don't tell me that I'm crazy. Don't tell me I'm nowhere. Take it from me. It's hip to be square. It's hip to be square. It's hip to be square. So hip to be square. Tell 'em boys. There and everywhere.
All right, gang, in 1 minute we will be going blank screen. In 1 minute we're going to be going blank screen. We'll be starting the show at 5 minutes after. So that's,
There
yeah,
and everywhere.
what I said.
Hip, so hip to be square. Here, there, and everywhere.
All right.
Hip,
All right, gang.
here, there, and everywhere. Hip, so hip to be square. Here, there, and everywhere. Hip, hip.
Yeah, buddy. All right, gang, we are 1 minute away from airtime. 1 minute away from airtime. In about 30 seconds, we're going to be going blank screen so we can start the show. We are about 45 seconds away from that. So, All righty then. Going to blank black screen. He's revved up. He's ready to go again. It's the Not Quite Right Show. The show that will guide you through the darkness. That's right. We're here to show you the way. Kind of like Peter Frampton. I just made a Peter Frampton reference. Oh my goodness. And the youngins all said, "Who is Peter Frampton?" It's the Not Quite Right Show, the show that points out the stupid, the incorrect, the ignorance that runs amongst us. Because as we all know, there is a fungus among us, and we call that politics. Have mercy. So, Rusty, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think's going on? Well, that's what I'm here to tell you. I'm not saying that my opinion is more important than yours, but I got a microphone, y'all, so I'm going to use it. How you doing? It is the Not Quite Right Show. We are 95.1 FM, 1450 AM, News Talk, WDNG. How are you doing? We are so excited to be back again. How are you? How are you? I missed each and every one of you. It is so much fun doing this show. I can't help it. I look forward to it. And, there are a lot of ways that you can participate in this madness that we call the Not Quite Right Show. That's right. The madness of the Not Quite Right Show. You can listen, of course, right here on 95.1 or 1450 AM. You can listen right here. Yeah, you can. And you can text us. Here's a number. You might want to jot this down on a small child. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, please, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, use a neighbor's kid. Don't ink up your own children, but jot this down on a small child. The number is 252-622-1470. That is 252-622-1470. You can text us on that line. Absolutely. You can call that line. Absolutely. How else, Rusty, can we possibly get in touch with you? Well, we are all over the place. If you like, as my mama used to call it, the Facebook. If you're on the Facebook, you can check us out at facebook.com/Not Quite Right Show. You can watch and listen there. Yeah, that's right. We live stream this thing. We live stream this puppy. Yeah, you get to see all my pretty face. What can I say? It's the end of the week. You get this way at the end of the week. It just happens. It's natural. It just happens. And yes, we love it when you participate into the show. As a matter of fact, and we got peoples. We got peoples that run through this studio like little peoples run through stuff that peoples run through. They monitor it. They're monitoring the messenger. They are monitoring the phone lines. And I want to say hi to Marcia. I can't even get your name right. Yeah, Miss Hedrick. How are you doing? I hope you had a good Christmas too, dear. And I hope things are looking up for you. Of course, she is that is one of my listeners that I love dearly, and I've never actually met her. But her husband Tom was a great friend of mine, great radio broadcaster, great comedian. I mean, the guy, Tom was the guy. Tom was that guy, and I'm just kind of I wasn't planning on going in this direction, but here I go. Tom was that one guy that no matter what was going on with me, when Rusty was down, when Rusty was, in the very bowels and pits of the depressionary hell on earth. He's the one that can make me laugh, and I miss him greatly. And so, Marsha, I love you too, and we will talk soon. Okay. I want to say hey to Ryan. How you doing, Ryan? How's it going out there with you? I hope everything's going good with you, buddy. Got a bunch of folks already tuned in, and holy smoke! I ain't even had time. I ain't even hardly had time to get to my my magical what was it we call it? Oh yeah, the top 3 stories of the day, y'all. Yes, sirree, the top 3 stories of the day. And boy, I got to tell you, there has been quite a few of them. There has been quite a few of them, and they're just keeping right on, isn't it? Oh, we can't have that. There's been quite a few stories today. I have been keeping a close eye on Twitter today. And when we do the show, I don't know if you guys use this or not. I don't know. But and I had no idea it even existed until my 17-year-old said, "Oh, Dad, you might want to check out something called the Tweet Deck." I said, "The what deck?" And he said, "The Tweet Deck." And because I've been on Twitter forever, but I had no idea that they had this program that you could just monitor everything. They do. And so I have been watching that, and of course, I like it because it keeps me up on date on what's trending right now. It lets me know what's going on. And we were talking about the top 3 stories of the day, and I was, and it's actually, I believe it kicked off last night or night before last. China was caught on satellite. You heard about that, right? Yeah. China was caught on satellite doing a oil transfer to a North Korean ship out in the whatever ocean that is. I guess it would be the Pacific. They were caught on satellite transferring oil from China tankers to North Korean tankers, which of course is something they swore they would not do. They will not sell oil to the North Koreans, which of course prompted Donald Trump earlier today. What time was it? Well, it was, it was. I'm trying to find it. I got all kinds of Donald Trump's tweets going on, but he tweeted out earlier today that caught red-handed, very disappointed that China is allowing oil to go into North Korea. There will never be a friendly solution to North Korea problem if this continues to happen. And I know the president knows this, and he has not called me up and said, "Rusty, would you give me your advice on that?" No, he has not. I haven't received a call from the Secretary of State, or none of them saying, "Rusty, we sure would like to have your input on this." But here you go. It's not going to stop. It ain't never stopped before in the past. And I see no reason that anything that we say or do is going to change anything with the North Koreans. It's going to continue to go on. China is going to continue to use backdoor methods to get them what they need. It's just not going to stop. I fear that the only answer for North Korea is not a good one. I said this months ago when we first started the Saturday show here on WDNG. I mean, it was one of our very first topics almost a year ago when we were talking about North Korea, and I said back then there's only like four ways that you can stop North Korea from the missile program that I can think of. There's only four ways. Well, number one, you got to get rid of the missiles. Way two, you got to get rid of the way that the missiles are delivered. Their mobile transports, their silos, whatever. That's the second way. The third way is you got to get rid of the finger that can push the button to launch the missiles. And by finger, I mean the whole hand, arm, body, everybody. It's got to go. And, of course, the fourth way is pray for him because he needs Jesus. Yeah, that could do it. If Kim Jong-un found Jesus, that could do it. But don't know. There is no easy solution to that problem. There hasn't been an easy solution, and now it's fallen in Donald Trump's lap after years and years and years and years of complacency by other presidents and other organizations and other administrations. Now it has landed in his lap, and now we're getting down to what we used to call where the rubber meets the road, y'all. It's not going to be pretty. We are the Not Quite Right Show, and we'll be back after the break. Well, alrighty then. Hey, buddy. Boop, 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 boop.
It's a good one if you got somebody you want to get out here and like slow dance around pool tables and stuff. Feel free.
Used to spend my nights out in a barroom. Think it was the only love I've known. But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom and brought me back from being too far gone. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time. I've looked for love in all the same old places. Found the bottom of a bottle always dry. But when you poured out your heart, I didn't waste it. 'Cause there's nothing like your love to get me high. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry.
It's the Not Quite Right Show. Hi, gang. How are you doing? We are back, and we are excited about it. It is a fun day. Oh, my goodness. Well, we have started off talking about China sneaking in there behind our backs, doing what China has been doing for years and years. And yeah, they're going to have to be dealt with. And one thing you guys really need to try to wrap your head around, there is no easy way to deal with China that is not going to be felt here in the U.S. Yeah, believe me. And when they start putting restrictions on China, you're going to find some repercussions. There's going to be recompense happening back here. It's going to cost us. It needs to be done, and it's well worth the price. Don't get me wrong. It needs to be done, but it's going to come at a cost, and there is it's going to be felt here in the homeland. Yes, it is. So just go ahead and mark that down in your little black book. Rusty told us on this date in time that when we do sanction, or if we do sanction China the way they need to be sanctioned for doing this sneaky crap that they're doing out there in the ocean, it's gonna be felt here at home. And you know, like I said, there was a lot of stories, and there always is, you know, but it never ceases to amaze me what kind of stupid things the liberal media and mainstream media puts out as news. You know, that is the main reason that I stopped, you know, even watching things like Good Morning America and the Today Show and all. I just cannot stand the fluff. The fluff kills me. I don't care who's wearing what and who's going to be at this award show, and I don't care who's dancing with who on Dancing with the Stars. None of that mess. No. I'm not that guy. I'm sure there's some people out there that, you know, really have a really dull life and are really dull people that that really is very important to them to know who is going to the royal wedding. I'm not that guy because I could really, truly care less. Do I care? No. So later on in the show, when I asked the question, does Rusty care about who's been invited to the royal wedding? The answer will be no, he does not. But that and again, that's why I stopped. I have stopped watching the morning news shows, because that's one thing they ain't. But it has never ceased to amaze me what they consider news. And it's not just the major networks, or CNN, Fox is guilty of it as well, and so is MSNBC. But I was watching Fox, I don't know, and it was in the afternoon. It was the top of the hour of the afternoon. So I was like, well, let's just see what they got for a lead story. I'm just going to check and see what they're going to come out with. And you know what their lead story was? With all that's going on in the world. And I want you got to put this in perspective. With everything that's going on, you know, we got China out in the Pacific Ocean, piggybacking with some North Korea ship and spurting out oil and getting it, and hijacking it and getting it over there to them, all covertly. We got that going on. Let's see, we got the FBI that is in dire need of some kind of resuscitation. They're going down fast. Things just keep coming to light about the FBI and how they're wanted to not let Trump be president, and how they had plans in place to keep Trump from being president. Let's see what else we got going on. We've got just a number of things. You know, Alabama, we certified our election, and that was huge. And there's a lot of real news out there. But CNN's top story was President Trump was attempting to play golf today, And we were attempting to get a shot of him playing golf, and a big white truck pulled up in front of us, and we could not get our shot. Serious. That was their story. They were all upset because a big white truck pulled up and blocked their shot. Their camera shot. Not their golf shot. Their camera shot. And that's... what? And in other news, there were two birds sitting on a fence. All of a sudden, one of them just flew off. We don't know why. It just went somewhere. We don't know where. And big white truck blocked our shot. Have mercy. If it ever... I mean, I know what it's like to need filler material. Trust me, I'm in the business. I know when you want filler material, when you're looking for something. What can I stick in here that's gonna make sense to people? But a truck blocking your shot, really? Oh my goodness. And in Donald Trump's latest tweet, he calls out, of course, the fairy tale of global warming. And you can bet you might as well just jot this down. He's gonna be hung over this one too. He's gonna inflame the liberals that are claiming that, oh my gracious, our icebergs are melting, and what are we gonna do? The icebergs are gonna melt, and then we're all gonna die because the icebergs melt. Well, in his latest tweet, I'm gonna get that word out. I can say tweet. I can. He says, in the East, it could be the coldest New Year's Eve on record. Perhaps we could use a little bit of that good old global warming that our country, but not other countries, was going to pay trillions of dollars to protect against. Bundle up. Al Gore is jumping up and down right now. He's flipping over. He can't find his own head. Yep. So President Trump calling out the global warming fairies. Did I ever tell you guys that I once met one of the scientists from a NOAA research facility it was not a business related thing or anything like that. It was just we were talking in a department store. And he happened to mention that he worked for NOAA. Well, I did not happen to mention that I did a radio show. I kept that to myself. And I thought, I'm going to just ask him a question just to see what the answer is, if he's just answering for just anybody. So I asked him, I said, well, I was wondering, since you're with the Oceanic Atmospheric Administration and you know about this kind of stuff. And you see, I had to talk to him like that because that's my redneck Southern voice. So I just felt like I needed to talk to him like that. So since you're since you're a smart man, could you explain to me about this what they call it, global warming? Could you please explain it to me? I asked him like that so he'd feel a lot smarter than me. And he looked at me and he said, "Son," he called me son. He said, "Son, that's all a bunch of hogwash." I about fell out. It was all I could do to keep from laughing right there, and wishing I had a tape recorder going. But yeah, yep. It's just a bunch of hogwash. It's fun. I like being me. Oh my goodness! So coming up in the next segment, I'll tell you what. Let's do. We'll take a look at the FBI. We'll also take a swipe at will the Democrats and Republicans work together in 2018. And I'm taking bets on that one. Anybody? Anyone? Bueller? We'll be right back.
It's a good one if you got somebody you want to get out here and like slow dance around pool tables and stuff. Feel free.
You knew better than that, right? It's the Not Quite Right Show, and hey gang, we are back. How are you doing? Excited to be here and happy you come to join us. Because we are falling apart. You see what I did there? We are 95.1 FM, 1450 AM, News Talk, WDNG, the Not Quite Right Show. The show that is not afraid to look them dead in the eye and go, you guys are stupid. Yeah. We are the Not Quite Right Show, and now you know why. And, you know, this first week, doing the nightly gig here has been just awesome, and you guys have been great for us, and we thank you for it. We thank you for tuning us in and listening to us. Don't forget to go by and download that TuneIn Radio app so you can take us anywhere. That's a great app. You can put it on your smartphone, your tablet, your computer, and just take the radio station with you wherever you go. You can also tune in and listen and watch right there on Facebook at facebook.com/ and Not Quite Right Show. And just go by there and like the page and participate. You can chime in on the chat box. We can do video calls and all kinds of stuff. If you'd like to text us, well, by golly, you can do that too. You can text us at 252-622-1470. Again, that's 252-622-1470. Said we would talk about some FBI stuff and find out about what's going on with the Democrats and the Republicans for 2018. We're going to just sit back and take a look at what are the possibilities. Well, first off, I thought when it comes to the FBI, the Intelligence Committee Chairman today calls out the DOJ and FBI, the Department of Justice and the FBI, for hampering congressional Russia probe. So you know, when I get on here and go, hey, they're acting stupid, you need to do something, it don't mean a whole lot. I mean, it means a whole lot to me and our listeners. They get it, they understand it. But then when you get the chairman of the Intelligence Committee Chairman to call out and say, hey, you guys, yeah, you can, we need to talk. That's kind of bone chilling right there. That's kind of oh my gosh, we've really messed up this time. And so many things have been said about the FBI, and even from former FBI agents, and just, you know, about the dossier and everything that has been going on. There was, and I think I might have mentioned this on a show earlier this week, but there was a campaign advisor for Hillary Clinton that was on one of the. He was being used as a talking head on one of the networks, and he said something about the dossier and the fact that you know. That it really it wasn't Hillary, because Hillary didn't use it because it was well, here I'll just play it for you and then we can figure it out on our own.
Any law enforcement official, they have to follow the leads, and they have done their due diligence, and it's turning out to not be true. That's why Hillary Clinton did not use it. That's why the Republican candidate who initially funded this dossier did not use it, and eventually sold it to Hillary Clinton. But you know, it was never used.
Okay, now I want you to pay close attention to what he says. He says it was never used. Well, obviously that's a lie because it's being used right now. But he's saying, and he's saying that Hillary never used it, which is fine. And he's saying that, and he's claiming that a Republican was actually the first person who started the dossier, or initially hired the company to do the dossier, which is true. But then it was sold to Hillary Clinton, who they hired a Russian spy, and that is when they got into it. Gets really complicated from there. But the point I'm trying to make here is, he said the Republican that started it, he didn't use it. He knew it was junk. And then Hillary, she didn't use it because she knew it was junk. So here's my thought. If they knew it was junk, and the FBI knew it was junk, and why did they use it to persecute the Trump campaign Why didn't they? Huh? If they all knew it was bogus, it was just junk. If it was just junk, then why was it ever used in this Russia probe? And that is the question that has got to be answered. And that's the question that a lot of people are looking to see the answer to, because, see, as it turns out, as you travel down that road a little bit further and a little bit deeper, because all those roads lead to this crossroads called FBI really screwing up. Because what has happened now is this dossier that Hillary wouldn't use, and that Republican that started it wouldn't use, and nobody wanted to use, it seems to be the basis for the wiretaps on the Trump campaign, and seems to be the main emphasis on the Russia collusion story. That is, and if it is, and the FBI used it, and if they knew it was trumped up, so to speak, then that's a felony. That's not good. So yeah. And now, especially with all the people, Peter Strzok and Lisa, what's her name, that they all these FBI agents that are falling out of trees now, that have been texting and tweeting and claiming that there was a plan in place, and there was a plan in place that would not keep President Trump out of office. But if that plan didn't work, then by golly, we need a plan B. And it looks like the plan B was the dossier. And that's this is one of them stories, and I've been screaming it for weeks now, that we cannot take our eye off the ball on this one. This is one that we cannot let them bury on the grassy knoll. It can't go under the rug. This has got to stay in the light. This one needs to be seen through to its conclusion, and people need to go to jail. If it comes to fruition, all that it appears to be, that there was an active plot to keep Donald Trump out of the presidency. That's what third world countries, that's a coup d'etat, a cootie duty. You know what word I'm trying to say? It's one of them things, and we can't be having that in this. No. So the FBI has really got themselves into, as my great gray-haired father would say, one mell of a hess. They got themselves into one mell of a hess, and it's a shame. And I'm hoping that the Senate and the Congress gets the backbone with their subpoenas to when they subpoena these guys, they make them answer the questions, and they don't let them get away with, well, I don't remember, or that's an active investigation and I can't comment. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you're talking to the Intelligence Committee. You know, they're allowed to know what you know. So yeah, you can tell them. It's all right. You tell them Rusty said it was okay, and you go ahead and tell them, and let's see where the apples fall. Then it is. It's a sad state of affairs when you got that kind of corruption and such a powerful office in it, and like I said, it reflects badly on the entire bureau, when in fact 99.99% of those men and women are hardworking, great people who would and who do put their life on the line every day for us. And it's sad that they are being cast in this shadow of a few corrupt agents at the top. That is sad, and it is pitiful. And if you want to quote me on that, you can tell your friends, Rusty said it's sad and it's pitiful, and that's the way it is. And now everybody is saying and wondering what is going to happen in 2018. Are the Democrats and the Republicans going to come together and work together in harmony? Are they going to join hands, sing around the campfire, kumbaya, and love everybody, and everybody love them? Well, depending on who you're talking to, and right now you're talking to me, I predict the following. I predict in 2018 more of the same. I predict there's going to be a lot of blaming, a lot of this won't work because they thought of it, and from both sides. Republicans going to say, no, we can't do that. Democrats going to say, no, we can't do that. I think there's going to be a lot of detour, delay, and try to defeat as the Democrats try to put themselves in some kind of electable position for the 2018 election. And you say, well, Rusty, if they'd work with the Republicans, wouldn't that do it? Wouldn't that help them out? Not if a Republican is running against them, it won't. Just saying. Yeah, at least that's what I'm thinking. We're the Not Quite Right show, and we'll be back after the break. Are y'all ready for this? That's nasty. It's the Not Quite Right Show. Welcome back in, gang. So glad you made me a part of your evening. Thank you so much for that. We are at 95.1 FM, 1450 AM. News Talk, WDNG. The talk is straight, and so is the host. How y'all doing? We have just, this hour, again, I started doing this nightly gig thing here, and I got to tell you, the hour just flies by. You know, when I start these shows, I go, oh, man, have I got enough? And then all of a sudden, boom, check, shoot, wow, it's gone, and here I sit. And we were talking about what is going on with the Democrats and the Republicans for 2018, and a few things I'd like to point out before we have to call it a night is the fact that the Democrats now, after months of berating the tax cuts and calling it Armageddon, and all we're doing is feeding the rich. That's all we're doing. They're just feeding the rich. That's all they're doing. They're just feeding the rich. You see what they're doing now? They're running to the tax cuts with both arms wide open, wanting to do what? The one thing that we wanted to do to start with, which was make it permanent, everything permanent. Now they want to make the tax cuts for the middle class permanent. That's fine with me. Go ahead. I'm in. I vote yes. Because they know, it dawned on them somewhere in between sundown and sunup, somewhere, somehow, it dawned on them, hey, if we're going to get elected, it's going to be kind of hard to do. Go back to your constituents and tell them, well, we didn't want to give you a tax break. We didn't want to put more money in your paycheck. We didn't want to give you more credit for child care. It was going to be a little bit tough for them to sell the non-sale. For months and months, they'll never be able to sell this. Republicans ain't gonna be able to sell this. It's so unpopular. You couldn't sell water to a man in the desert. This thing, it's Armageddon's what it is. And now what are they doing? They run into it, embracing it, kissing it dead on the mouth. That's what they're doing. They're wanting to make the tax cuts for the middle class permanent. As a matter of fact, the Democrats are in such disarray right now. And, well, they should be. I think, excuse me, I think one of the worst things that can happen to the Republican Party is if they get rid of Nancy Pelosi. I think she's doing a good job for the Republicans. I really do. And I think it's a shame if they get rid of Nancy Pelosi. Now, if I was a Democrat, what would I do? I would get rid of Nancy Pelosi. That's what I would do. I'd get rid of her and the next two right behind her. I'm just telling. And as a matter of fact, I'm not the only one who feels that way. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, but Howard Dean was on TV today. Howard Dean, a huge in the Democratic Party, huge. We're talking Howard Dean, y'all. And what did he say? Howard Dean said it is time for the next generation of Democrats, that he would not support Nancy Pelosi. Say what? Yeah. So it's not, and I don't know if they're going to be able to in this next coming year wrap their arms around or their heads around what it's going to take for this 2018 election. And my biggest fear is Republicans are just going to sit back on their laurels and think they've got it wrapped up when they do not. You do not. You do not have it wrapped up, Republicans. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be huge, and it's going to be a hard fought election. Because I promise you now, if you don't know it's coming, I'm going to let you in on it. There's going to be ads that say, why would you vote for a man whose president stood beside a child molester and endorsed a child molester? Yes, that ad is coming. You can best believe it. The ads, the anti-Trump ads are going to run rampant. and they are going to try to crucify anybody that is got anything to do with Donald Trump. That's their only ploy. That's their only game. That's the only thing they can do. What can they do? Run on the record of voting against tax cuts? Oh yeah, that'll work for them. So when it comes to 2018, and do I think the Republicans and the Democrats are gonna come together and build a campfire right there in the middle of the Capitol and join hands and sing "Kumbaya"? No, that ain't gonna happen. It can't happen if the Democrats have any hope of whatsoever of getting elected. I mean, does anybody really think that somebody's going to vote for a Democrat that says, yeah, the Republicans are right and we were wrong, vote for me? Does that make sense to you? Hey, he was right, I was wrong, vote for me. So they've got to make it. They have got to make the gap bigger. They have got to stop the momentum that we have right now coming off of this win going into the year. They've got to stop. They got to curb the momentum. Now, since tax cuts were passed, they have no other choice. They've got to come to the table. They've got to have something to take back home other than I voted against tax cuts. Well, now, see, that won't fly. But this will fly. I voted against the tax cuts, but what I did do is I made them permanent for you. If we're going to have them, then they need to be permanent. Can you hear that argument coming already? Yeah, that's going to be there. But if Donald Trump wins his battle for infrastructure, if he wins his battle to redo the health care plan, they don't have a prayer, and they know it. So they're going to fight it. They're going to fight it. You might as well go ahead and make up your mind. This is going to be a nasty brawl. And no, there's not going to be any kumbaya. There's not going to be any hand holding going on. There's going to be a lot of mudslinging. There's going to be a lot of more. There's going to be more and more of the harassment charges coming out. Mark my words. There's going to be more and more mud thrown in the Russia collusion story. You know, everybody's hoping that that's going to get wrapped up and put to bed. That's not going to happen. Not before it. No, I'd be willing. If they let the conclusion come, then it's over for them. When the conclusion comes that there was no collusion, they've lost. So they can't let that happen. Oh my goodness, where does the time go? I was just getting started. Well, gang, that's all right. We will be back. Don't forget our Saturday show, Saturday mornings, right here on 95.1 FM 1450 AM WDNG. We are the Not Quite Right Show, and guess what? We will see you tomorrow. Hello, my Facebook peeps. I'm still here. I am just getting ready to actually, I'm going to pre-record. Shh, don't tell nobody. My Saturday show. So, hey, Michelle. I just looked down and saw you down there. I love my country. I'm scared of my government too, sweetheart. I wished I could video call you. We'd do a bit together. Hey, Sandy, what's going on, Sandy? And Jimmy Piner, of course, Jim Rose, love you, man. So listen, gang, I will be back in just a little bit. But right now I'm going to close this one out, and we'll start another one in just a little bit.